So Jason is an investor, as you probably know, in what's the name of it?
Adrecom.
Adrecom, which is a.
By the way, what do you think of the word Axel code as a different brand name?
You're not going to change it again, are you? Or is it going to be a sub brand?
No, Adrecom is an old name that nobody likes, so we know that.
It's
So
ADRECOM is the current name.
Yeah, it stands for the American Dream Company.
People get used to it.
No, they don't. And I heard yesterday somebody I was talking to, and he goes, "It sounds too much like Azure.com."
What's the next? What's the other one, Jason?
Axel code.
AXEL. Axel code.
Yeah.
Well, you have some of your graphics look like a gear or something, with the things going around it. Is that where it came from?
No.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dave?
Well, it's A, so it's the same. They're both A. I don't know. Axel code.
Well, Axel is from a few things. One is accelerate, even though it's spelled differently, but Axel in a car is like, that's your
the main thing
piece. They just code is sort of makes it a technology company. So there's just a lot of things to it.
It's Marcom Tech, right? Is that what it is?
It's an e-com. It's an e-com platform. Yeah.
Okay.
It's eCom Plus because it's eCom and CMS. It's basically a web transaction, a web publishing system for e-commerce subscriptions, content management, all embedded in one. I gave a half-hour presentation on Friday because.
All right, I'm sorry I missed it. If you'd like me to put
my
research team on it, Jason, I'd be happy to get my research team on that and do some primary research for you.
Get the dogs together, right?
They're deployed currently, but
yeah.
The dogs are currently deployed.
I think it's fine. It sounds cool. I like having ad in the name if it's advertising related, but it's more.
No, it's not advertising.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, no, what happened, Michael, I gave a presentation to 10 CEOs on Friday.
How'd it go?
On half-hour thing. It's very formalistic. They're all technology companies. And 2 of them actually run Shopify sites, which I didn't know until I got through it. And I mean, the response was awesome. And things that were missing, I have a much clearer picture of now. So it was
things that were missing in the presentation.
In the presentation, and Dave, just to give it into 30 seconds, is the platform's been around 18 years, but 2 years ago we built an API engine. We call it the Foundry, and that now enables us to integrate to QuickBooks, Sage, Epicor, ERP, accounting, CRM platforms very quickly and better than other competing platforms.
And people who are using it's instead of Shopify, it's its own.
Okay. Yeah, it's its own thing. It's okay. And there's no third-party plugins, so there's no conflicts. Deployment is much faster.
So more like Drupal. Meaning no outside stuff that's gonna.
You can look at it. I didn't even know Drupal's still around. Yeah, but Drupal with e-commerce, I guess you'd call it that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Drupal has plugins also.
Yeah, but they're all in a closed developer community, I think, and they all have to be vetted. I think it's not like the Wild West.
Yeah, but the problem with that still is the same thing we're trying to avoid, is conflicts between one plugin and another. It's impossible for developers to make them 2 things. First of all, compatible with other plugins, and 2, forward compatible. We don't have those issues because everything's built in.
Do you have
That's a burden on us.
sites are deployed with Adrecom or Axel code currently?
50.
50 e-commerce sites?
Yeah, but I mean substantive ones. Some of them not, but many doing millions of dollars a month. Millions.
Do you have any that you share, in your presentation?
Yeah. You can go to the website, adrecom.net. Many of them are up there.
All right, I'll check it out.
The latest one is called Create On. If you have little kids, they sell magnet tiles, and we built them an engine that you could load photos. Since I see a lot of stuff, you could load photos and create magnet tiles for your kids, that was a big deal.
Magnet tiles. Okay. So it's like a toys it's like Legos that are magnetized.
Exactly.
Okay, interesting. 2D, 3D. So before you leave, anything else you want to add? Because we're going to do this pretty informally.
Yeah. Well, Well, I just had a meeting with the guy now. I'll just share with you, even though I think it's expensive. It's a company called Folderly.
Mhm.
They improve your deliverability of your emails. And what they do is they have a network of like 10,000 sites that they own with emails. And so when you send an email out, you copy it to those websites somehow. And they start opening and interacting with your emails to fool the ISPs into believing that your emails are really good.
Yeah, that's the same thing that we're doing with organic outreach. I'm using, what am I using?
Oh no, you're using Lemlist and the other stuff, but this is on a whole different level.
Oh,
This
really?
is that's warming up your email. But
Right.
this is, yes, they have the warm up thing too, but they're basically, if you send an email to let's say you're an emailer and you send out your list to 2,000 people, the additional email is going to 10,000 people who are, some percentage of them are opening it and interacting in it. It makes the ISP think that your stuff is really hot. It's pure numbers game. And the idea was that years ago, the content of your email would dictate if it got delivered. If you had the word free in there, it would get blocked.
Right.
If it had certain, and those rules are changed now. Now it's about whether people like the email or not,
Right.
you know, according to what he told me.
And what do they charge? You said it's expensive.
$200 a month.
Right.
I'm
And
not
then
sure I
separately-
understand how they increase deliverability.
Because when you send an email, you're gonna with their system, that same email will end up going to their 10,000 controlled emails or some percentage of them.
Oh, so they're manipulating.
Yeah, it's totally black hat.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I said it's good stuff.
Now I understand.
Yeah, and then the
Right.
second thing is, Michael, I spoke to one of Joe's. So I introduced Michael to a guy that teaches you how to do outreach, like
Right.
cold email and stuff. So I spoke to one of his proteges yesterday, a guy in Canada. He grew from 1,000 to 52,000 a month in revenue in 18 months, following Joe's stuff. Awesome. Just
Wow.
awesome.
What-
Chinese
and
guy.
Agency?
Yeah, and he's teaching other agencies how to do what he does.
I
So
think I'm on that call today, actually.
The guy's name is Newton, and
Mhm.
it was fantastic.
I think I'm on the call with him today. Yeah.
If you
on
really
his-
want to laugh, Rajiv will like this the most, I think. I don't think he ever saw Yamaka before.
Yeah.
So while we were talking, at some point, I told him what it's about. He'd put his hand on his head, covering his head, and I said, "Oh my God, you're becoming Jewish already." So he took a napkin and he put it on his head while he was talking to me.
There you go.
Hey, can I ask a question before you go, Jason? This
Yeah.
is for everybody, though.
Yeah.
I'm working with a client of mine that does email marketing, and they provide enterprise software solutions for email marketing.
Yeah.
And they have a product which is subject line related. So I'm just curious what you all use for. Sorry for my southern contraction there. I'm curious what you all use for testing subject lines for emails. You know, do you what type of, do you have a software that you
You know what's funny? I don't anymore. There's a whole bunch of headline tools that are out there, and I don't remember wait, I do have one. I have it in my browser. Give me a
I
second.
don't do
This
enough
is-
emails to do a testing like that, A/B testing.
I was just curious. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you've heard of anything
Wait,
anecdotal.
I'm looking. Give me 1 second if I can find it in my
Sure.
it's not there.
There used to be the service a while ago, whose name that eludes me at the moment, which when used kind of allowed for the other person to whitelist your email. Do you remember what that service was called? This was, I don't know, 10 plus or so years ago.
Here, I found it. It's called CoSchedule Headline Writer. Do you know them?
That's a mouthful.
Oh.
CoSchedule a headline writer? No.
Give me 1 second.
Wasn't someone in our group, Michael, didn't he have a company called Inc. or something like that?
Yeah, but that's totally
Inkful.
different. That's for SEO purposes. That has nothing to do with conversion.
That's your thing, Jason?
No, it's
No.
another one, but
It's
it
a
has
guy,
nothing-
it's Gary,
Oh, that's for
Ink
content.
is that AI writer thing, right?
Right. Here, check the chat. I just put in the CoSchedule thing. That's
Yeah.
what you want.
Okay, so
Wait,
that was more
what is
for
your core business? What's your
Inc. for
core
all
business?
was more for content creation and blog stuff, not
Right, not conversion. What's your core
It's-
business, David?
Thanks, Jason. What's that?
What's your core business?
I'm digital agency. I do measurement, analytics, reporting, SEO. I've been doing tons of UX and UI lately.
Okay.
Email marketing strategy, social strategy.
I got you. Okay.
The hub of the wheel.
Now here, let me give you this website for a look. Look at Folderly. I think that's their website.
Yeah, I already went to
Okay,
it when you mentioned it.
I can hear you. If you don't give me your email, I'll introduce you to the guy
Sure.
who sort of runs it.
I'll put it in the chat. The thing, my client's product is called Subject Line Pro. You guys ever hear
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name, right?
Subject line.
I think it's a pretty
Working with emailers.
Yeah, he works with e-commerce companies that do that where the email channel is not performing as well as it could be, or it's doing X and they go in there and say, we're experts at email marketing and we're gonna help you go from X to Y. And I've been working with these guys for a while, and this is a new thing that they have. It's like a subject line testing kind of tool. I might be able to get us all like a demo account where we don't have to pay to play with it. They're trying to get people like us to, use it and tell us what's good about it, what's not good about it. I was curious to know what other things like it you guys may have heard of or have been using.
And this is different from the agency that you're doing most of your work with? Or
this is a different client.
Okay, Subject Line Pro. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, this is just one of their things.
Okay, I just sent the email. By the way, why do you use Gmail instead of your agency email?
Yeah, you could send it to dave@venturepmedia.com also. It's just a matter of, when you connect, the Google accounts, when you connected all the stuff with Google, and then everything that you need to log in for analytics and everything is on your one account. That's pretty much the main reason.
Right. I got you.
But I know what you're saying. It's not as professional. So if you want to send it to the other one and then have me answer.
No, it's a different reason. You know why? Is that people forget the name of the agency when they just see the Gmail.
I understand.
Right.
Fair enough.
You know what I did? There's a cool little trick. If you look at my email, it has my phone number in my reply address.
Interesting.
Very nice.
Somebody taught me that, and people have called up and go, that was so cool because I can easily figure out how to call you.
Well,
email in, use a phone number and reply email address.
You have to set it up in your settings in Outlook. I don't know how you do it in other systems.
Jason, maybe since you're doing e-commerce and my email client is all about, e-commerce, maybe there's some sort of...
I was about to suggest we should put them together.
Yeah, maybe there's some sort of logical
connection. How many clients is Subject Line working with? How many e-commerce platforms? Or clients? Subject
Line Pro is something new. It's by Alchemy Works. Alchemy Works is the email, is the company.
It's an email platform.
They do enterprise level email. They manage email marketing programs for clients. I don't know. Okay. They choose the service providers. They write the emails. They figure out the testing. They figure out the cadence, the streams, the segmentation.
No, let's put them together.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, cool.
They're a service provider.
Yeah, they're a service provider. And Subject Line Pro, I think, might be more of like a front end. It's brand new. I don't really even know much about it.
How big are they? Alchemy Works.
I couldn't tell you. It's a private company.
All right.
They have good clients.
Michael, which is the CMS that you use?
The CMS I use is called Agile CMS.
Oh, Agile CRM. Okay.
CRM, yeah.
Agile.
Was that easy to use?
Very easy, yeah. It's pretty easy, and it's pretty powerful, and it's cheap. I mean, I find it, I only have about 200 people on my list right now, members, and prospective members. So, I don't be spending a lot of money, and it's got CRM, it's got, the email management, the email newsletter kind of thing. You can go up in price, obviously, but I'm paying $15 a month.
I thought it was free.
No. Well, there may be a free version. There may be a free version.
Yeah, I'm on the website. It says free for 10 users.
Yeah, but it's limited in terms of what you can do with it.
Oh, okay.
Freemium.
Yeah, it's freemium. It's freemium. So Rajiv, you want to give us an update of what you're up to and what's going on in your world?
What's going on? Yeah, so
besides Mexico and your
besides
honeymoon,
Mexico,
which is all good, of course. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So what's been going on is we've been, there's this kind of sort of a nonprofit project that I started called Let's Solve X, where X stands for any social cause. And we kind of did a pilot of Let's Solve X by partnering with ACE. ACE stands for Asian Creatives and Entrepreneurs. They're like kind of like they're on the comeuppance. They're like coming up pretty fast, similar to Black Lives Matter as far as growth and mobilization of people and stuff. And we kind of debuted with them a few weeks ago at the Bushwick Generator, where we created a expression booth for people to come and share their stories of where they experienced xenophobia, experienced it, witnessed it, or displayed unconscious bias after the fact. And then, so we got like a lot of response, which was, day one was kind of like slow, but day two was like a lot more response. So that then kind of led us to learn of this other, nonprofit whose name I can't remember right now. I think it's called UGA or something, which is supposed to be like the largest nonprofit in the US that gives grants to other nonprofits. I never even heard about this company prior to Wendy telling me about it. And so we're in the process of kind of building a case study on what we did with the ACE pop-up to kind of like get a grant from UGA, and one of the people that we know from UGA is a division that is based out of Westchester, where they have a focus on doing some work with anti-hate. So anything that turns the needle towards meeting like an anti-hate goal. So that's something that we're kind of supporting. So essentially the way that they work is they're looking for agencies that either work in that region or work in that type of work, like social impact, and then give them grants so that they can continue to do that work so as to positively impact that region. So that's
you say agencies, you're talking about not-for-profit,
right?
Okay, not marketing agencies or anything. Okay,
correct, yeah.
And you mentioned Wendy. Is that Wendy who?
Wendy
who? Yeah.
Should we get in touch with her again? She was involved. Was she the one that was involved in some sort of cannabis event?
That was Stone Age NYC.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was the kind of like immersive, interactive experience that happened in New York. I think like a couple of months ago.
October, yeah.
I think there for like 4 days or something like that over a weekend. So that's something that we're like currently working on. It seems to be going pretty good. Something else that kind of popped up is, again, in like the nonprofit side, there's this other group that I just sort of in a strange way stumbled on called Lifesavers International. Lifesavers is essentially what they're looking to do is find ways to deliver information to, let's say, disadvantaged people, areas of society like all over the world. So currently what the project that we're working on is they have some kind of software that has like a library of content, and then they want to install that software on tablets. So what we're doing is we're working with a supplier in China who's going to custom make or custom configure the tablets, like 2,000 or 3,000 tablets. They're going to pre-install that software on it, and then they're going to ship that lot of tablets to parts of Africa or areas in the Americas where they feel that these pockets of people could benefit from it. So that's like another project that's started, and it kind of started in like the strangest way possible, one of the most random connections ever, but it just kind of like evolved and morphed, and so that's likely to become like a pretty significant like payday, so to speak, since I have a rev share with the
Oh, interesting.
whatchamacallit, the guy who's sourcing the tablets.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that should be pretty interesting. Yeah, those are some like interesting developments on like the nonprofit side. On the regular work side, I guess, yeah, it's just like the usual reputation management stuff, helping clients, trying to get stuff off. Yeah, so
Right.
that stuff, that's like BAU stuff, and that goes on, like before.
Business as usual. Okay.
Yep,
Exactly.
business as usual.
And I am working furiously on user acceptance testing for the new website for Trusted Referral Network. We're rebuilding it on WordPress, but on a very flexible platform. And also between that and beginning this Joe Petruzzi email outreach thing, which you come up to speed and then you sort of do it yourself with their support. Those two things are keeping me busy, and then of course my regular clients, trying to add more agencies. I have 2 more that are new, and hopefully we'll build them to sort of flywheel clients. That's the idea. So the A team is one of them. I don't know if you know anybody that's a New York based company, and the other one is called David and Goliath, which is out in California actually.
Name sounds vaguely familiar. David and Goliath.
David and Goliath. Yeah, well, obviously it's a biblical story. Yeah, they're about a 200 person agency, but they've got a smaller agency, sub agency that's doing more digital work for smaller companies. So we fit well within that. And we're doing a product launch for a bathroom equipment company that's launching a new, like a public bathroom equipment company that's launching a sanitizer product, hand sanitizer product. So it's timely, of course. Hand sanitizer and hand dryer with sanitizer.